You seem to think that your place in history has to do with, say, relations with Asia or deregulation. I think this is a misread. I think that in 20, 30 years' time, when kids are studying Australian history, it'll be what you did with Mabo. Now, that was forced on you. That wasn't something you went out looking for. In fact, I remember a phone conversation. The High Court judges have chucked this bloody thing out the door, shut the door, and now I've got to deal with it. But that really, I think, was you at your best, macro and micro.
Much of what Aboriginal Australia is about land. And we, through the pass on legislative land rights, we ran into opposition from Western Australia and we chucked it in. Somehow I knew it would always come my way. I used to say to some close around me, you know, in the end, Aboriginal land rights will end up coming to me. They're going to find me. I always felt that.
So you were prepared for it?
Yeah, I tried to understand, perhaps inadequately, but tried to understand what it meant and how it could be coped with, and the fanaticism that Europeans have for property, how you deal with the two things. The hard jobs tend to come to the ones willing to take them, you know what I mean? In other words, they seek you out. And I always thought that this thing, the most intractable problem, I mean, how do we make reparations? How do we acknowledge what's happened? You know, how do we make amends? How do we put what's able to be put right?
Isn't it astonishing that our Aboriginal leadership is free of hatred? Don't you think? I find it extraordinary.
Well, yes, but it's extraordinary, but it's always true that the ones who have lost the most, the ones who have had the most unfair penalties put upon them, are the ones with the biggest spirit.
Like the Jews, for example.
Yeah, like the Jews. Mm. But I remember John Olsen, the painter, said, in giving out one of these creative fellowships we established, he started out, he said, well, I'm very glad to be here, he said. He said, look, I think life boils down to two categories of people, lovers and others, and who wants to be one of the others, you see? And I think that's right.
Mm. So not only you're a maddie, you're a lover.
Lovers and others.